Hello weirdos, welcome back to my channel. And you want to climb off top of all your pillows? We have the baby. She is hanging out with me while we record this video. She's got a little bed down here. She's gonna be hanging out there. So the haul that we're doing today is a holiday haul. This is stuff that I acquired around the holidays. Could do say some of the stuff I bought for myself. Some of the stuff I did not. Also, I think totally did my nails blue because of, it's winter time. And I'm not a super fan of doing like lots of feminine things, but I've been super into doing my nails recently. And I did these myself. So I'm pretty proud, seeing as like this is the second set of nails I've done for myself in the last 2 weeks. I know it's just solid colors, but for someone who's not done their nails in like literally years, I think it's kind of impressive. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these books, actually, I think, all of these books I got from Barnes & Noble. We went to 2 different Barnes & Noble over the holidays. And quite frankly, there were screaming deals both times I went. The first Barnes & Noble I went to it was like 45 to 75% off of everything in store because the store was closing. So we were just grabbing up all sorts of stuff. This is not everything we got there. This is just the stuff that I acquired for my personal self. And the other Barnes & Noble I went to, they were having half off all hardbacks. So what did I do? I got a shit ton of hardbacks. All right, so let's cut the shit and just, oh shit. 1 second, I left one book downstairs. Are you falling? Oh, you good? You good? You all comfy? Oh, look at her. She's so cute. Yeah, she just sits there. Okay, I got the book. We're good. Yeah, so it turns out earlier what I said about all the books being from Barnes & Noble, that's a lie. And I'm going to tell you why that's a lie, because I got one from Amazon. I know I'm terrible, but I just really wanted it, okay? And that book is the first book that I'm going to show you, because it's the book that I'm quasi-currently reading. I mean, I am currently reading it. There's a bookmark in it. And that is Lore Olympus. This is by Rachel Smithy. This is the volume 1. I'm a huge fan of the Lore Olympus webtoon. And when I saw that there was like a published book, I just got really excited. Yeah, I'm a super big fan of this. I opened this up today and I saw that it gives content warnings. And I think that's great. I feel like this book definitely does need content warnings. It looks really cute. I think there is a rape in this volume. So be aware of that. But I really, really enjoy it and I can't wait to read it. I'm gonna spend tomorrow, sit down and just read this all the way through. This won the Goodreads Choice Award for the category of graphic novel, and I just was not surprised because it's just so popular. Next 2 books I'm going to show together because they go together. And that is the Dragon Republic and The Burning God. These are both by R.F. Kuang. They are the second and third books. The Popular series, I don't know what is the correct name for this series. I haven't read the first book, so I can't really tell you what the jumping off point of the series is. But if it's anything like some of the series that I've been reading recently about epic style stories with Central War as a focus and also based off of like Chinese culture, mythology, and history, I think these are going to be right up my alley. I am so excited. I'm going to get to these eventually. I freaking swear to God. And I also really like these editions with the different colors. Yeah, I think they look really cool and cannot wait to get to these. Super excited. The next book I picked up is this one. This is The Island of Sea Women by Lisa C. Lisa C, personally for me, is an author where I will immediately buy her stuff. She's an automatic buy because I love the stuff that she does. The way she is able to introduce you to these worlds that she doesn't really create because they're based off of, real worlds, but the way she's able to introduce the habits and the culture just very organically to where you don't really feel like Lisa C sits you down and is info dumping everything onto you. I find that to be very, very wonderful. And this one is like a little bit of a departure Not that much, but like this follows a group of Korean women. They live on this island and they are the main breadwinners of their family. They are sea divers and they collect different kinds of seafoods to sell them on the market. It focuses on this small group of women. What island are they on? Jeju. And you follow the relationship between these two women. They are best friends, and how their relationship kind of disintegrates, but then grows through lots of changing times within Korea. They go through the Japanese invasion, and it's just a lot. And I really loved this. I believe this is Lisa C's latest work, and I have read this. Very, very good. The next book is another Lisa C book because the Barnes & Noble I went to had like 2 Lisa C books that I did not own, and I was like, okay, I must snatch these up. And the other one is China Dolls. I didn't really know much about this. I know this is set in like the 20s, 30s, and it is set in San Francisco, but I think it does follow a group of Chinese immigrants. Yeah, and I don't know much about it, but if it is anything like any of her other books and it focuses on relationships between women and how women build communities and support each other, it's going to be another good one, and I can't wait to read. I have like 2 other Lisa C books that I want to get to in the upcoming year, and I'm just, I love her work, and I will always read her work. End of story. Lisa C, if you ever want to talk to me, I will talk to you all the time. Yeah, even the baby is like, yeah, Lisa C is awesome. We love her work. You want to sit like that? No, she's on the curl up. Okay, so the next book I got kind of also on the strength of the author's name alone, and that is Strength in What Remains. This is by Tracy Kidder. Tracy Kidder wrote a book, Mountains Beyond Mountains, which was all about Paul Farmer, and we will see Paul Farmer in a bit. Paul Farmer is just this amazing anthropologist who does lots of work within medical anthropology. Anyway, so I don't know what this is about, but I was like, Tracy Kidder does really amazing work. The back says, Tracy Kidder gives us a story of one man's inspiring American journey and of ordinary people who helped him, providing brilliant testament to the power of second chances. Dio arrives in the United States from Burundi in search of a new life, having survived civil war and genocide. He lands at the JFK airport with $200, no English, and no contacts. He elks out a precarious existence until he meets the strangers who will change his life, pointing him eventually in the direction of the Columbia University Medical School and a life devoted to healing. Kidder breaks new ground telling this unfortunate story as he travels back over a turbulent life and shows us what it means to be fully human. Yeah, if it's anything like Mountains Beyond Mountains, it's going to be really good as well. Since I mentioned Paul Farmer, let's just take a quick detour and show you the book that I got that involves Paul Farmer, and that would be Fevers, Feuds, and Diamonds. This is Ebola and the Ravages of History. This is by Paul Farmer. Yeah, I read this. This is a very thick boy. It looks deceivingly small until you actually pick it up and look at it. It's chunker. It's like 500, 600 pages. Yeah, it's in the 500 page range, and this tells about Paul Farmer's efforts and kind of explaining the Ebola crisis. He takes a third of the book to kind of explain and give context to Ebola, what was happening culturally, and a kind of a brief overview. And he also tells the stories of, I think, at least 3 different people who went through the Ebola crisis and what they are doing. And in the last third, he kind of talks about the historical context of why Ebola was able to happen and why it spread, hence where the Feuds and Diamonds kind of come in. And he also talks about what we can do in the future. And yeah, I just think Paul Farmer is an amazing anthropologist. He does a lot of awesome work in the medical anthropology field specifically. That's why I picked this book up, quite frankly. Getting back on track, the next book I picked up was A Furious Sky. This is 500-Year History of America's Hurricanes. This is by Eric J. Dolan. And honestly, I just thought, hearing about America's hurricanes, what is their story? How have hurricanes changed over time? I just thought that was interesting, and that's why I picked this book up. The next book is Early. This is a intimate history of premature birth and what it teaches us about being human. This is by Sarah DeGregorio. I have read a lot of really powerful stories and listened to a bunch of powerful stories about what it is like to go through premature birth in terms of like the mother and the family. I find like the science behind it to be very, very interesting. And I kind of wanted to look at this like historical view. And so I thought this would be interesting, and that's why I got this one. I feel like I'm fairly predictable on this channel. All right, the next book I got is She Came to Slay. This is The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. This is by Erica Armstrong Dunbar. Need you say more? This is a book about Harriet Tubman. Does she even need an introduction? But if you don't, she is a disabled enslaved woman who escaped and then became a Moses-like figure. She was even called Moses. And she led hundreds of enslaved people to freedom in Canada and in the north of America. And yeah, just a truly, truly, truly amazing story. I've heard really, really good things about this book in particular with its use of like layout and like visuals. So this is family tree of Harriet. That's this one. Where to go next? The next book I got is Below the Edge of Darkness. This is by Dr. Edith Wilder. It's a memoir of exploring light and life in the deep sea. And I am a sucker for a science book, a sort of medical memoir things. I love learning about science and all these different things, and the deep ocean where it's dark and there's very, very little light is just really interesting about what creatures can survive down there. And I think this is going to be a look at how they use light. Need I say more? It's interesting. Sign me up. Let's go. Okay, let's keep going. The next book I got is In the Heights, Finding Home. This is by Lima Miranda, Kira Alegara Hughes, and Jeremy McCarter. Need I say more? I have a bunch of books just like this where it talks about the process of a musical becoming a musical. And I believe this even, yeah, this includes information about In the Heights becoming a movie as well. I don't know what it is about these books. I really love them. I really find them very, very fascinating and interesting to get kind of like the behind the scenes look at like the theater and the music that I love. My favorite parts of these specifically, if I can find an example, are these parts. It's the lyrics, and there are like notes by the director, and I just find that so interesting. I like to listen to the music as I'm reading these footnotes, and I just think it really adds to it. So this is about the song No Me Diga. Yeah. huge sucker for this, and I usually only buy these for like my favorite musicals. I have like 3 so far, and this is my 4th one. And yeah, I just love these. The next one that follows along the same lines as the In the Heights ones is the Come From Away one. This is Welcome to the Rock, and it's again a look inside the hit musical. And Come From Away is just one of my favorite musicals. I love it so much. I've talked about it before on this channel a little bit in one of my other hauls where I get like those giant playbills. I don't want to pull, I have the Come From Away like giant like playbill, but I don't want to pull it off. It's like on a shelf over there. When I saw Come From Away before COVID hit, oh my gosh, look, it even like my nails even kind of match this. Oh, that's so cool. When I saw Come From Away, they weren't selling this, and then I saw this at a Barnes & Noble, and I was like, I have to have this. This is one of those things where I just have to have. And because we have you falling down, girl? You falling down? Because we have an Apple TV Plus, whatever that is, I've seen Come From Away twice in like the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I love it. And it has the lyrics with the annotations. It also has like little essays about the stuff that went into this. So this particular essay focuses on like the Gander Airport. That's this one that I picked up. The next kind of like group of books I still got from Barnes & Nobles, but they were books that I got because I'm going to be reading them most likely I am going to be reading them in the next year. And they're all like either winners of stuff from the Goodreads Choice Awards or things that I'm going to read for my Goodreads Choice Awards project that I do every year. And this year I'm not only doing the winners, I also decided to pick another random book from the category that was in the top 10 and read that one as well. Most of the books that I got are either one of the 2 or they were also nominated. So the first one that I got is Empire of Pain This is The Secret History of the Sackler Dynasty. This is by Pradeep Keefe, who wrote Say Nothing, which is somewhere on my shelves. Yeah, this talks about the Sacklers and all the things they did with the opium crisis and how they contributed to it. And this won the category for history, I believe. Yeah, I was like, I've heard so many good things about this. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be like 75% off. Why not? You can't really get a better deal on this for a brand new book. This next one is Our Violent Ends. This is by Chloe Gong. This one I didn't pick out to read. This was nominated for the YA Sci-Fi and Fantasy, but I have Our Violent Delights, and I'm planning on reading that one, so I figured, hey, let's get the second book in the duology. Yeah, because I am probably going to read this one as well in the coming years because I have the entire series now, so there you go. This next book is Codebreaker, the Jennifer Donclaw, that is Dunda. I cannot pronounce names. Gene Editing and the Future of the Human Race by Walter Isaacson. If you don't know what, this is all about the woman who created CRISPR. And if you don't know what CRISPR is, it's like a chemical that you can use to edit genomes. And you can do some really, really awesome stuff with CRISPR, but it also brings up lots of ethical dilemmas. I think this book is going to be very, very interesting. This did not win, but it got second place to history and biography, or third place. One of those two. I was just like, oh, well, I knew it was going to be an excuse for me to buy this book, and what do you know, it was. So I'm very happy that I picked this one up. The next book I got is Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. This is Uncle Rick. It's going to be an awesome book. I don't really know much of what it's about. I do know that it is not a part of like the Percy Jackson verse. So I'm kind of excited to see what is something that is a little bit different and how he handles that. And I think this like focuses like on like a school under the water because of the cover. And that's about all I know. But I'm very, very excited to read this one. This one also won Best Middle Grade because Uncle Rick wins it every year. The next book I got is Gilded Ones by Namina Farina. I am not entirely sure what this talks about. I know that the main character has to go through this blood ritual in order to be accepted into her tribe and to become a full-fledged member. It's like a coming of age ritual thing. And something is up with her blood. And that's about all I know. But I've heard really, really good things, and I can't wait to read this. This was nominated for, I believe, a debut novel and Best YA Sci-Fi and Fantasy. And so I'm going to be reading this one, I believe, for Best Debut. Best Debut by choice. So that's this one. The next book I got is Light from Uncommon Stars. This is by Rika Aoki. All I know is that this is a queer alien sci-fi book, and that's kind of everything I needed. Plus the cover is beautiful. This book I'm going to be reading for the science fiction category. This was nominated for the science fiction category for the Goodreads Choice Awards, and that's what I'm going to be reading it for. Very excited though. The next book is Under the Whispering Door. This is by TJ Klune. I'm not really sure what this one is about other than it's kind of like this midway place in between life and death. I don't really know what it is, but I think it's like a bar of some kind. It's almost like this romance. Maybe a romance is like too strong of a word. I'm not really sure. Take this all with 10,000 grains of salt. But it's like a romance or a relationship between this person who died and like the bartender. This bar is like a liminal space between life and death. So people go to this bar when they die and to kind of like help them move on, I think. I'm not really sure. And this just looks like really fun and whimsical. This got the second place for the fantasy category for the Goodreads Choice Awards. I rejected the winner and decided instead I was going to read this one for the winner. It's not going to read anymore. Sarah J. Maas, thank you very much. The next book I got is The Woman They Could Not Silence, Her Incredible Fight for Freedom and the Men Who Tried to Make Her Disappear. This is by Kate Moore. I have Kate Moore's Radio Girls right there. And I really like her writing, so this is why I picked this one up. And I'm not intending to read this for the Goodreads Choice Award project that I'm doing, even though this book was nominated for, I believe, one of the nonfiction categories, and I think it was history and biography. Not entirely sure. I was in between this and a couple other books, including the Codebreaker one, and I think I went with the Codebreaker one to read as my, like, kind of my choice. But this one I knew was going to be really, really good too, and I just saw it and it was like over half off, and I was like, you know what, we're just going to pick this one up as well. The very last book that I got, I feel like this is just taking so long, but you know what, we're done. We're on the last one. Falling down? You falling down? Aww. What are you up to? You're being cute? Being cute? The very last book that I got is All's Well. This is by Mona Award. Awad? Not really sure. And all I know about this book is that it's about this theater troupe who is staging the Scottish play, which if you don't know what it is, look it up. I'm one of those weird, superstitious, like, theater people who don't like actually saying it, but it's, you know, the one of Shakespeare's plays that takes place in Scotland and follows a dude who goes on a happy murdering spree, murdering lots of people. All I know about this one, but I thought, you know what, this is a half off book, and I thought that it was going to be interesting, and was nominated for the horror genre for the Goodreads Choice Awards, and yeah, I'm so excited to get to this one. There you guys go. Thank you so much for watching this video. The baby is ready to get some snuggles. Do you want snuggles? Do you want snuggles? Do you want some of your other humans? Oh, she is so spoiled. Everybody loves her. Everybody loves the baby. Anyway, well, that is going to be it for this video. I'm going to say goodbye. Let me know, what are some things that you got for the holidays? And how was your holidays? Did anyone in your house have COVID? All right, well, that's it. We are going to say goodbye. You want to say goodbye? You want to say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.